Welcome back. So this is the day after we poured all the gables and everything, and it was a madhouse, which was great. I love it when it's like that. So you see Chris is out here. He was moving piles to add to the burn pile up at the top for the ICF cabin lot. And then Matt, he couldn't just sit still and relax. He said, hey, let's clean up. Let's do some grade work. So he hopped in the Kubota and started cleaning up. So Chris just ran the off-road truck back a couple times to get rid of those piles. Matt, as you see, is just cleaning everything up before he takes the dirt and starts grading it back up against the retaining wall to fill that little deal in, fill in where the footings were. Get that nice and cleaned up. I've got the time lapse sitting here going, but I'm off somewhere doing something. I promise I'm working for real. Yeah, there I went. I just rode by on the side by side. Yeah, Matt's pretty good on that little thing. I've got a little ways to go before I get that good, but he made short work of everything, graded it out, which was nice. You'll see by the end of the video that how everything's looking nice and clean now. Oh, see, here I am. Told you I was working somewhere. So I grabbed the Kubota and just getting up all the just crap that needs to go. We've got certain pieces of Nudura left over that are just trash, can't do anything with, so tossing those. And then we've got a few pieces that are still good, and then I'm going to put those in the tractor trailer back there. So just a little bit of rinse and repeat on that. And you got Matt's moving things around here. He's bringing the brick up because, the brick guys, when they deliver brick, they just put it everywhere and it's never really where you need it. So getting that all moved. He's grading out some more, and then he's going to move the, oh, there I went. Boom. Yeah, see, I'm cleaning up some trash. So he's going to move the dumpster. So just getting the whole hillside back straight and kind of nice. I get in here and start cleaning up a little bit of block and a few things. Just mostly Matt getting that hill straight, and I'm just dumping the trash. All right, so this over here, we had the ridge left from way back when Chris used the Chinese excavator to dig those little footings we needed for the brick there. So that's been just a hilly mess right there. So Matt jumped in and decided to grade that out. See, Chris got rid of the burn pile that was there and took it up with the other one. So grading this out, get it nice and ready to go. I should probably get in here and plant some grass, what I need to do. All right, now it's time to take all the little bracing down, which is great. We're going to work our way all around the building. I'll talk about it in a minute. We have some time lapse going while I'm using the lift. I tell you what, this lift has been a game changer. I don't know how we did anything without it, honestly. It's been so nice. Imagine us doing all this off ladders. Just taking off the little strips and taking off the zonts and getting those down, the 2x4s, and just working our way around, clean all that up. Now I'm inside. So this ended up being a two-tiered scaffolding setup. We had our scaffolding that's on top of the plumb wall bracing, which is the orange bracing. And further up the wall we built, used the ZATs, what they call them, to build our scaffolding walk boards for up higher. We should have done that on the gables. We had everything set up. We just thought we were going to use the crane to hold the hose and ended up using the boom, so couldn't use the boom to get everywhere. So best laid plans, just kind of better to stick to your plans. I'm using a wide angle lens on this on the GoPro, on the time lapse camera, so it's not all funky like that looks right now in the picture. Yeah, just take all that crap down, get it out of the way, make a big old mess for James and Taylor to deal with later. All right, back out here. Actually been out here a couple days doing some work, starting to dismantle the scaffolding system, leaving a mess behind. Gotta leave something for the guys to do. It says dropping wood. So you see the upside to using these is I can build them in any configuration and go as high as we want. Downside is you're using wood. But such is life. I really do think these are a great way to build your scaffolding because it, like I say, allows you in different unique situations. I don't think it would be that difficult. It would be expensive, and then you're like, well, why don't I just buy the plumb wall, which we've got that as well. It's just a different use deal. I almost feel like buying some tubing that would take the place of the 2x4, and then we could reuse them over and over again. So I think that may be something we play around with in the future. Anyway, so woo-woo. Here we go. So all that's down. Once we clean all this up, we're starting on the floors next. So this platform will have to come up. We'll have to have some temporary, we'll have to come up with something for safety, keep people away from the edge. Besides, intelligence and looking at where you're at. Anyway, we've got to come in here, and I'm gonna have James do just like he did for the ceilings. We're gonna put angle iron around the top for where the staircase opening is. And then it'll be kind of cool. We'll go down there and you'll be able to see how tall that tower really is. Kind of neat. Oh, bang my head into a 2x4. See, so still got a lot to take down and all that and all that. Lots of work yet. Just kind of coming out here and beating at it a couple hours a day. Was out most of the week. Jackie and I both have the dreaded vid. Started with the girls, brought it home from school. They rove it very, very quickly. thankful for that. But I've had it a couple times, and this time just kind of hit harder. It was been a lot worse for us. I'm still hocking crap up, but anyway, got stuff to do, so here we are. Yeah, so I'm gonna finish taking that bracing out, take that piece off. I got one little piece up there to take. I'll show you how that turned out with the edge there, and just work our way around. Just ready to kind of see how everything looked without all the bracing on. Got to get in here and do my waterproofing around the pre-bucks. I'm way overdue for that actually, but it got so cold, didn't really get to do it. So that's kind of on the menu possibly this coming week. This is the front door. The door's not actually there. A lot of people think the door's in that opening. That's actually just walking up onto the little porch. We'll have to build our stairs. I think we're gonna do a curved set of stairs. We'll see what happens with all that. That's way in the future. Yeah, the wind took us out, knocked y'all down, sorry. Yeah, we were a little stressed with that, but I mean, it held the concrete up, no problem. So now we're gonna get all the bracing and everything out. The other Jeff, which is Tater and James's uncle, he made that curved piece. And it held up fine with the pour. So you see where the corner of the ICF is right there. We'll build a wall right there out of 2x6 or 2x8, and that'll be what holds the front door. And it's just a real small little European style little walk-up porch area. So the inside of that most likely is going to get stone instead of brick. I think that's what we're going to go with. We'll see. Should have made those decisions by now, but you know, that's how it goes sometimes. So yeah, just getting all this off. We had strapped in foam, so we poured concrete to lock in the steel beam. So had to get that off, and then had our straps for the end of the little concrete pour we did up top. That's real smooth. I mean, turned out great. Here again, just using the little boom lift to get us around and where we need to be. All right, moving on to the gables. Got the time lapse set over there next to Bob. Oh, I see. Huh. Yeah. Hey, Bob. So just rinse and repeat. Get all this stuff off so that once I've recovered a little more and the guys are here, we can move on to the floor and hit it hard. I'm really ready to get going with that and show you all that and get floors poured, because once floors are poured, then we can put on the roof and then we feel like we got somewhere. Let's get to it. All right, looks pretty good. Came together, so that's nice. I moved the machine around, so that will be going for cleaning up the inside pieces, and then I'll have to move it all the way around to the other side, get all that off. The guys can come in tomorrow and pick all this mess up. We ordered one stack of 2x6 6s, 2x8s, 2x4x16s, and 3/8 plywood, which we cut up into all those strips and things you've seen through the build. Never ordered any more wood. We've reused it every step of the way, each pool, basement, main floor, gables. So we'll go through here, the straight pieces we have left, we'll go in the trailer to go to the next project, and the rest of it will be discarded. Not bad for a build of this size, I feel like, for what we've been able to reuse. And yeah, get this job site cleaned up and move on to the floors. Good morning. Back out here a little early. Man, it's almost time to mow already. It's crazy. Saw the video on final clearing on the little cabin lot up there. That's all come together. A few people have asked, yes, my neighbors are building up there in the corner. And we are back out here on the house. So the rain stopped us yesterday. James and Michael on the way. They'll be cleaning up all my mess. I'm gonna go around and just continue taking off bracing. Be nice to get a good look at this thing with without any bracing on for the first time, with all of the walls up. So if you missed it, yes, the walls are done. And we're ready to move on to the floors just as soon as I do this little bit of cleanup, which is great because we're ready to get that out of the way. Also, and I know this is mid-video because I record for a few days, unlike Chris basically records one day his work. I'm like, nobody'd watch that for me. Be like 3 minutes. So yeah, so I appreciate everybody's thoughts, prayers, condolences for my neighbor Donnie, who passed away. Much appreciated. Not to be confused with Donnie that delivers Chris's machinery around. A few people asked about that. So, but we're back out here, and we're just gonna continue getting done what we can get done. That one is cleared. Ta-da! That's it. Straight, solid gable. Little pocket for the lamb beams to go in and knock out that one. So I'm over on this side. I'm gonna see how much I can reach without having to reposition the boom. I think I can get most of it actually, but I'm pretty stretched out right now. So when we move the boom down, it goes out because of the orientation that I've got it right now. So I'll be close. Definitely a whole day of our funnest thing to do, which is clean up. Everyone loves cleanup. So yeah, so we'll work on that fun stuff, and probably will take through tomorrow. So that's Wednesday, and then we can say we're officially done and ready to move to the next part. So roughly a year. It was March of last year when we started setting the walls. So it roughly took me a year to set and pour basement, main floor, rest of these gables and everything, set steel, set floors, do plumbing in the basement, and pour up here and build 2 pools, which is not wonderful timeline for a whole crew, but not bad for my first job with ICF, pretty much, and doing not using crews. I mean, it's just us kind of figuring it out and taking our time and filming, which definitely adds time to anything you're doing. But that's where we are, ready to get on to the floors. Been very timid about those. One reason we've done some other pours is experimenting with some different effects and things, since all the floors will still be exposed concrete because they're stamped. So kind of playing around with that. That's where the mud demon is really going to come in handy, because we will not pour our entire floor all one day. We'll do sections and stamp it, and we're going to be smart about where we break that up, depending on walls and everything. So we got a few options with that. I got an idea of what that's going to look like. Next we'll be we'll be marking out the floors. I've already marked some of it. We did a video a while back. All the walls around the house are marked where walls are coming off of them, but we've got to actually string everything up, laser it, and do some markings on the ground, and just come up with a basically transferring the floor print to the ground so that we put our radiant in the right places. So rambled that on. Don't know if it'll make it in the video. I guess if you're listening to it now, then it did. That's the last vertical 2x4 off the projects, and I just had to take the last few zonts off, and that's it. The house is free of all the bracing and everything, so it's just completely freestanding on its own. Super great moment. This is the new drone I got. The other drone, it did not, well, I sold it to James. He fixed it. It didn't die in the getting it out of the tree. It had a battery expand on us, try to explode, and popped it out of the drone at 125 feet. So it had messed up. I got tired of dealing with it. So this is the new Mavic Pro 3. Pretty darn good picture. So happy with that. We haven't put grass on this area yet because that's where we got to dig in for the geothermal trenches. We got water in the pools, just been making sure it didn't have any leaks and just checking with things. We'll be emptying those out whenever we decide to tile them and do all that stuff. A little flyover, see how deep it is down to the bottom of that stairwell. That's 33, 34 feet of, actually 36 or 37 feet of concrete. So that's pretty cool. It's not a full half circle there because it comes in a little more. So once the full circle's built, it should look cooler. Here we got our concrete ceilinged areas that you saw in that earlier video. They are holding up fine. And that's it. I am done pouring concrete. The rest of it will be my flat work guys, but all the walls are finished. So on to the ICF cabin and whatever I'm going to do for my pump house. It's going to be pretty neat. We got to figure that out. There to the right of those 3 windows, Casey's now come up and bricked that the rest of the way up. And then that's pretty much it for him until I put the windows in. I mean, he might be able to do a little bit more. Windows are going to be pretty cool. We're going to try stamping the walls for the rock. I've got a kit for that. That's going to be some experimentation. We'll see how that goes. I've got to get the pieces for the steps. I got to talk with Casey on what we're going to do with that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I mean, it's turned out pretty cool. I'm going to work on finishing my office part now as well because we've got power to the house. And I've got the design idea for what I want to do in there. So once we do the floors inside the house and get all those poured, then it's kind of up to the framers to do my walls and the roof. So while they're working on that, I'm going to work on going ahead and getting the office finished so I can move into there and use it somewhat. Use it from office so that the RV can go to the major project. So thanks for following along. Amazing the transformation on this place. It's just crazy. I'm going to see if I can find an old drone shot from when we started and put it here. So if you're seeing that, cool. If not, I didn't find it. But going to be really cool. A few things coming up. Hope you'll join us for that and see you in the next one.